I never thought I'd be making a video about Taylor Swift here on Press for Truth, but it's 2018 and we've all just awoken to an Orwellian nightmare, so here we are. This just out from Quartz. Taylor Swift uses facial recognition to track her stalkers at a concert. Security for Taylor Swift at California's Rose Bowl in May 2018 included a facial recognition system monitored from almost 2,000 miles away. A kiosk set up to show highlights of the singer's rehearsals secretly recorded the faces of onlookers, which were then sent to a command post in Nashville, Tennessee, that attempted to match those images to hundreds of images of known Taylor Swift stalkers, according to Rolling Stone. So everybody who went up would just stop and stare at it, and the software would just start working. So they were looking for specific targeted individuals who were on this known list of, Taylor Swift stalkers, who they were scanning the faces of so they could turn them down and not let them in the concert. Now, as this article here points out, Taylor Swift tracked stalkers with facial recognition tech at her concert. That's not necessarily against the law. It's completely within their right to do so. U.S. artists haven't previously been publicized for using facial recognition tech at their concerts. However, the legality of doing so is on the artist's side. A concert is technically a private event. Therefore, event organizers can subject concert goers to almost any kind of surveillance. So he makes a point there. It is a private event. You don't have to go to see Taylor Swift in concert, knowing that they have these kind of strict security measures. But what about in the public sphere, where you want to even obtain the tickets to be able to go to a concert? Well, check this out. Ticketmaster could now replace tickets with facial recognition technology. Someday in the not so distant future, you might be able to walk into a concert venue without waiting in line for the ticket to be scanned, because instead the venue will automatically scan and identify your face. That's the experience that Live Nation and Ticketmaster suggested they'll try to develop last week when announcing an investment in Blink Identity. Blink is a brand new company that claims to be able to identify people walking by in half a second. We will now continue investing in new technologies to further differentiate Ticketmaster from others in the ticketing business. So Ticketmaster is now getting into the fold, and obviously it's being sold on convenience. The idea that you can just walk into a concert without having to fumble for your tickets sounds like a good thing, but obviously all of this technology leads to a very, very slippery slope, and we're going to get to just how bad that can be. But obviously there's law enforcement who is very interested in this technology, and they're already using it to target individuals. Here we see surveillance state. Police targets Christmas shoppers with Big Brother facial recognition technology. The chilling technology can scan the faces of more than 18,000 members of the public every minute, matching them against a criminal database in real time. So here we see it's going to be rolled out in London's West End on Monday and Tuesday, despite new statistics revealing that it has an appalling 100% inaccuracy rate. That's kind of telling right there. The MET confirmed facial recognition is planned to be deployed in Soho, Piccadilly Circus, and Leicester Square for 16 hours over the 2 days. The force uses images from a watch list of violent criminals who have previously been in police custody, but privacy campaigners have branded the police's use of technology as authoritarian, dangerous, and lawless. Yeah, it's pretty authoritarian and dangerous to say the least. In fact, in London, they kind of are the blueprint for just how many CCTV cameras they can get away with. They kind of tested it there. I remember when I was looking into this years ago, there was, I think it was one camera for every 4 people walking around in London at any given time. But that was a long time ago. It's probably more like 4 cameras for every 1 person. It's just getting ridiculous, and now they're targeting crime. Well, this is a slippery slope, and we're going to see where this leads to, but who else is getting involved in the pre-crime aspect of this, almost the Minority Report aspect of this? Amazon, check this out, Amazon's strategy to foil porch pirates with facial recognition could also curb civil liberties. The online retailer has indicated that it wants to use biometrics to thwart thieves. Amazon may be introducing a high-tech solution for the millions of Americans who have packages stolen off their porches each year, but privacy groups aren't buying it. The retail giant filed for a patent in November on a new feature for its Ring video doorbell that will use facial recognition software to identify suspicious persons near a customer's front door. So here they have this Ring technology, and it's a video, video for your doorbell. Amazon's Ring takes heat for considering facial recognition for its video doorbells. It says here, Ring, Amazon's video doorbell company, filed 2 facial recognition-related patent applications this year that have already been criticized in regard to civil liberties. Yeah, no doubt. The company, which Amazon acquired in April, filed 2 patent applications that became public in recent weeks. Both consider ways of using Ring's devices to recognize suspicious people in a neighborhood and then automatically alert law enforcement. Such people are described as convicted felons, sex offenders, or people on a most wanted list. So we're quite literally talking about scanning into the public sphere, a sidewalk where people are walking by in public, and this intrusive technology is now going to be used to alert law enforcement. And this is a very, very, very slippery slope. And if we want to look to where this is heading, we got to look to the blueprint. And one of the main blueprints for this is China. What they're doing in China is unbelievable. They can track you by your face in real time, have you linked up to the national ID card system there so they can figure out who you are within a split second. And let's not forget to mention they have the Sesame credit system over there, which I pointed out in this video, China's Sesame credit, a blueprint for the West, where they not only identify you with facial recognition technology, but then they can use that to identify whether you are an outstanding member of society or if you are somebody who is wanted by the authorities, and you get a score based on your Sesame credit. And I'll have a link to that video in the description below if you want to learn more about that one. But to see where this is going, this is where it leads to, and this just blows my mind. This just out from Zero Hedge. China is now data mining directly from the brains of workers. That's how bad this gets, guys. Says here, China is deploying emotional surveillance technology that mines data from the minds of its citizens. Essentially, they're data mining by reading their brains. Says here, the lightweight sensory helmets have been rolled out on an industrial scale. The data mining and emotional surveillance programs are eerily similar to trends in the United States to monitor and probe the mental health of its citizens through facial recognition. But China was taking their data mining to the next level. So here, obviously, points out, of course, this is funded by the government, and they've already noticed that it's increasing profits because they're analyzing the emotions of the workers, and they're able to find out when is the optimal time to give them a break, based on how they're feeling. And they've tweaked the algorithm and switched up when these people are getting breaks, and it's resulted in more productivity from their workers. So they're already using this, applying it practically, and getting more work out of their workers. And it is here. Now, as the article goes on to say, clearly there's potential for abuse here. Xiao Zhang, a professor of management of psychology at Beijing Normal University, acknowledges that the Chinese brain mining technology would give a competitive edge to those who deploy it. However, he seems to be the only one who is quoted in the report who pointed out the obvious Orwellian 1984 vibe going on here. He says that the technology could also be abused by companies to control minds and infringe privacy, mirroring a Big Brother thought police, the dreadful law enforcement in 1984 who interrogated and punished people for displaying beliefs out of line with the upper echelon. So that's the main crux of the matter here. This is about privacy. This is about control. We've already seen what China does with their Sesame credit systems. Well, they'll scan somebody's face and say, oh, you didn't pay your bill last month. You're not allowed to get on that plane now. So it's an incremental step, guys. And we have to reject these incremental moves all along the way, like what Amazon's trying to do, what the police are trying to do, what Ticketmaster's trying to do. I pointed this out in this video not long ago called The iPhone X Exposed. Biometric identification is just the beginning. Where I pointed out, in the beginning it's just about, scanning your face, for the convenience of getting in, but this is leading towards literally scanning our brains to understand our emotions, how we feel while we're looking at a certain image. And this is leading towards somewhere where not only are they going to be able to tell how you feel, but they're going to be able to predict it. This is for the purposes of marketing, for advertising, and obviously for total control. So we have to reject these incremental pushes all along the way. Don't get the iPhone X and use facial recognition technology if you don't have to. If you're in China or you're involved in an employer who wants to use these kind of headsets, do not do it. It's not mandatory at this point. Amazon, we don't need facial recognition software at our doorbells to deal with thieves. Taylor Swift, well, as we said, you can do what you want, but you don't have to go see Taylor Swift, folks, especially when she's openly using this kind of technology at her private events. So anyways, just something I wanted to bring to your attention today. This is a slippery slope. It leads to, as we've seen, China now data mining directly from the brains of workers. Where does this end? It ends in the Orwellian nightmare that George Orwell envisioned in his book 1984. Total, utter control under the umbrella of the state. So anyways, wanted to bring that to your attention today, guys. Please check the links in the description for all the sources to this video, and also to find out how you can support our work here at Press for Truth. You can donate, you can contribute at Patreon. They have been censoring people lately, so if you're not into Patreon, of course you could do Bitcoin, you could do PayPal, you could do other cryptocurrencies, and of course we have the Patreon alternative where you can sign up for a monthly amount to show your support for what we're doing here at Press for Truth. So check the links in the description below if you want to get involved in that, and also to learn about what China's doing with facial recognition and how it is coming to us here in the West, and it needs to be rejected, lock, stock, and barrel. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Once again, check the links in the description to find out how you can get involved. And stay tuned for more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.